M Night Shyalaman's latest movie has just come out, and I have absolutely no intentions of seeing it. Even The Sixth Sense, which is one of the two movies of his that I've seen, and the only one of the two which was good, never really grabbed me on any level other than how competently it was constructed. I can only assume that miracle came about through youthful exuberance and a willingness to listen to his more experienced co-workers, traits that he seemed to lose as time went on. That being said, I was eager to jump onto the web, stick a podcast or two in my ears, and soak up all the vitriol that the critics could muster. What I received was a general shrug of indifference. After approximately 15 years of creating films of ever-increasing ambition and ever-decreasing competence, it seems that making a cheap comedy horror film about grandparents is unlikely to cut mustard anymore. Or so I thought, anyway. Then I decided to see what Bob Chipman thought of it, and there was enough acid in that one review to melt the Eiffel Tower. And it's that rant that reminded me of a subject that I've always wanted to discuss but never got around to. Critics are well known for being a volatile bunch, but most tend to save their real ire for films that really push their buttons, something that tends to be rare at best and completely unpredictable at worst. That is, apart from the critics who make their entire livelihoods on eviscerating things and will probably go into a swear-filled tirade if their egg sandwich was a bit dry. But I think I may have found one of the reasons why films can enrage people, and to illustrate it, I'd like to present the M Night Shyalaman film that I had the displeasure to watch, Lady in the Water. Lady in the Water was the first of Shyalaman's majorly panned films. Signs and The Village were considered disappointments, but there was still a contingent of critics and fans who championed them, or at the very least, thought there were good elements to them. Not so much for this one. Phrases like muddled, self-indulgent, and a flamboyant cinematic disaster were soon launched at the film, and Mark Kermode described it as being like someone pouring petrol over their heads and setting fire to themselves. It got 2 Golden Raspberry Awards, one for Worst Director and the other for Worst Supporting Actor. 2 guesses to who that was. It seemed like the film was a dartboard and everyone was lining up to take a throw. That is, except for me. Not that the film is any good, by no means. Pretty much all the criticisms are accurate, from the hokey plot with its misguided attempt to blend poetic mysticism and storybook fantasy to its bad acting, bland soundtrack, and general lack of anything meaningful to say about anything. It was also the first of his films to really suffer from the mandatory twist that Shyamalan seems hell-bent on shoving into all of his works, even if it doesn't really make any sense. But my reaction to the film was pretty much similar to the critical opinion on The Visit. Sure, it's bad, but it's not enragingly bad. So what was it that really ticked people off about the film? My theory is it's because Shyamalan made it personal. The 2 biggest criticisms levelled at Lady in the Water tie directly into this. The first is that the least likeable character in the film is an unpleasant, crotchety critic whose bad advice to the protagonist almost doomed the titular nymph. He ends up getting killed off mercilessly by the bestial adversary because he believes he's guaranteed to be safe as he thinks he's in a kids' movie. Such a portrayal is clearly a swipe at the people who criticised him in the past, and it isn't made better by the second of the criticisms. The fact that Shyamalan's role in the film is an author who's going to write something that will change the world and then get martyred for it. It's one thing to be conceited or incompetent, but when a person in a creative industry has both qualities and demonstrates them by attacking those who deign to speak negatively about that person, is it any wonder that they get so much vitriol poured on them? It's bad enough without the sniping if the reactions towards Peter Molyneux are anything to go by. At least with Molyneux you get the feeling that he wants to do good work but can't help selling you the Brooklyn Bridge whenever he opens his mouth. With Shyamalan, or video game developers like Digital Homicide or comic book people like Rob Liefeld, they sell you the bridge and then have the nerve to blame you for buying it in the first place. It seems to me that was the reason why Movie Bob gave The Visit such a scolding review, feeling as if Shyamalan was creating a cheap, lowbrow, humdrum, toxic, elderly person-hating film as an attack on his audience because he felt that anything he made would turn to gold like the hand of Midas. While I feel like he may be projecting a little bit, what does it say about you as a filmmaker if a person can feel as if your works were a personal attack by their mere existence? In the end, I think it's clear how the choices you make when creating a product can have a big impact on how people react to it. A bad decision made to an otherwise good product can mar the experience for a certain section of people, and alienating people just to be able to give you the middle finger to a group that you dislike doesn't do you any favours. At best it can tank your review scores, and at worst your name becomes an international punchline, and a crowd of people will laugh at you whenever you get caught with your trousers down or your hand in the biscuit tin. Is that proportionate? Probably not. But that's what you get when you intentionally upset people for no good reason, and to be honest, I can't say I feel terribly sorry about that. What's your take on the issue? Please let me know in the comments below the video. Thanks for watching, my name's Joseph and you've been listening to my thoughts on M Night Shyalaman making it personal. I'll speak to you soon.